All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are talking about the Green Bay Packers, more specifically Jordan Love here. The big nitpick with this Green Bay Packers team this past offseason is you lost Aaron Rodgers. You lost Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to be good next season. Congratulations, Green Bay. You had Brett Favre. You had Aaron Rodgers. That's the end of that tenure. You had back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks. You're all set now. Your team's going to be poverty for the next decade at least. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, first things first, I don't need Jordan Love to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Number two, I don't think Jordan Love is a bust. And then finally, number three, and this number three is more in my back pocket. I've just got it ready to go if need be. If Jordan Love is a bust and Jordan Love sucks next season, well, Mr. Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers, welcome to Green Bay. I don't really know what else to say. That rhymed. Jordan Love next season is going to bring the Green Bay Packers to an over 500 record. I fully believe it. I fully believe it. And we're going to talk about why in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. I post a bunch of Packers videos every single week. Packers fans, you guys have blessed all of my Packers videos, like honestly forever, but specifically since this offseason has began. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, diehard, ever since the Favre era, ever since I was born, to be quite honest with you. And so just to see kind of all that love from Packers fans, it means the world to me. If we could get this video to 250 likes, that would be awesome. It's the middle of the offseason right now. There's not too much NFL hype going on, but I'm hyped about Green Bay, man. I really am. And I take a look at the Packers and, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You have a favorable start to your NFL season. All right. We've seen Jordan Love in very limited starts. All right. We saw him play Kansas City. We saw him play Philadelphia pretty recently where he kind of feasted. But everywhere with the Packers right now is like, all right, you didn't make any moves in free agency. Like, you barely did anything in free agency. And I'm sitting here as a Packers fan watching these talking heads on NFL media, and I'm thinking to myself, ever since I can remember, the Packers never made a move in free agency. I don't know why Julius Peppers just came to my head here. Did we even acquire him in free agency? It might have even been a trade. But, ever since I can remember, the Green Bay Packers have done jack diddly in free agency, and we've been just fine. All right? You lost some players outside of Aaron Rodgers. You lost Alan Lazard. You lost Robert Tonyan. You lost Randall Cobb. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, and I want to say real quick, because as a Packers fan, I love Lizard Lazard. I love Alan Lizard. I love Robert Tonyan. I love Randall Cobb. I have so many fond memories with Randall Cobb, of Randall Cobb's tenure with the Green Bay Packers. I can't really recall what those three players offered me last season. And I don't mean that as a jab. I mean it more so, okay, we had Aaron Rodgers. Well, how did Aaron Rodgers do? Aaron didn't do good. He didn't do good. He did quite mediocre, to be honest with you, with his expectations as a several-time MVP, a Super Bowl champion. Aaron Rodgers did pretty mediocre last season. He played banged up. I love Aaron Rodgers so much, actually. He's my favorite quarterback of all time, right next to Brett Favre. I'm a biased Green Bay Packers fan. But, the loss of Aaron Rodgers in and of itself, and people are like, oh, okay, well, the Packers, barely did good last season. I'm like, all right, you know what? There's so many things that go into that. Aaron Rodgers was banged up. It was not a great season for our quarterback. Whatever. All right, well, you lost Alan Lazard, Robert Tonyan, and Randall Cobb. Okay, I love Alan Lazard. As a wide receiver one, if you have Super Bowl aspirations, Alan Lazard's wide receiver one, I have tough news for you. And this is from a Packers fan. I have tough news for you. Things probably aren't going to turn out the way you want it to. Robert Tonyan's awesome. And it really sucks that he went to the Chicago Bears, even though I am from Chicago and my family has season tickets to the Chicago Bears games. I'm not going to be pleased seeing Robert Tonyan in a Bears uniform. I have a weird feeling he's going to be fully healthy and just feast. Robert Tonyan wasn't very healthy. Randall Cobb, I don't even know how old Randall Cobb is. What is he, 34? He's 32. There's just so many contingencies going into the Packers this offseason because, once again, just to hammer home this point, it's all what they lost. It's not about what they gained. Outside of Jordan Love, you got 2 tight ends. I don't even know if I've been alive when the Green Bay Packers have selected 2 tight ends in the NFL draft. And by 2 tight ends, I mean like in the 2nd and 3rd round, like 2 tight ends that are going to make immediate impacts. Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, welcome to the Green Bay Packers. Luke Musgrave is a stud. He only had 633 receiving yards in 4 seasons in college. This past year, he played 2 games because of a knee injury. I'm telling you, man, he's 6'6". He's 253 pounds. He ran a 4.61. He's going to open up the middle of the field. Tucker Kraft right behind him. I love the 2 tight end additions, and I also love Jaden Reed. I'm feeling, honestly, a Jordy Nelson type of vibe from Jaden Reed. But we look at Romeo Doubs. We look at Christian Watson, an emerging star. We look at A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, the elite Green Bay Packers offensive line, and Mr. Matt LaFleur, who's getting so much slack this year. And I look at the Packers last season, and I'm like, it makes sense that we didn't do good, all right? It just makes sense. The culture has changed in Green Bay. And I think Jordan Love, playing several seasons behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of my generation, I'm going to assume it rubbed off on him. Because that's what I saw specifically in the Philadelphia Eagles game. I know we saw limited snaps, but the dude feasted against the team that made the Super Bowl. All right? We have a sturdy defense. I get it. People aren't big Joe Barry fans. Whatever, man. The same thing applies to every NFL fan base. I don't know if our offensive coordinator is good, the guy. I don't know if our head coach is the guy. I don't know if our defensive coordinator is the guy. They're not the guy till they're the guy. The Green Bay Packers will have a top 16 defense in the NFL next season, and they'll have a top 16 offense. The expectations are so low. You're in the NFC North. I love the Detroit Lions because I used to live just outside of Detroit. I know Green Bay Packers fans don't necessarily want to hear that. The Lions probably win the NFC North. The Vikings are trending downhill. The Chicago Bears aren't quite there yet. I can see the rise of the Chicago Bears. They're not quite there yet. The NFC in general, the Packers' schedule in general is relatively weak. I don't think too many Packers fans, myself included, would be upset if Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers next season went 9-8, 10-7, and made the playoffs. Because the worst case scenario is Jordan Love, I don't know if I'm allowed to say he shits the bed, but he shits the bed, and the Packers win 3 or 4 games. Well, here's a top 5 pick. Here's a top 5 pick with a loaded quarterback draft class. So I'm looking at the Packers next season. I'm thinking this win-win. The expectations are so low, man. You just went from Hall of Famer Brett Favre to Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, man. I'm so bullish. I'm so hyped on this Green Bay Packers team this upcoming season. I get it. It's a little bit biased. Whatever, man. I feel so good about this team, and I like the threats on offense, the young threats, might I add. It's been a while since we've had young threats and established guys like Christian Watson. I don't know, man. I'm thinking the Packers pull it off. I'm thinking they go at worst 9-8. I'm thinking, honestly, 10-7 here. We'll see what happens, though. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit that sub button. But most importantly, guys, drop some comments down below. What's Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers going to look like next season?